Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm so thrilled you're joining me today because we're about to dive into something truly exciting and maybe even life-changing. 5 surprising ways to keep your mind sharp. After 80, whether you're watching this for yourself because you're approaching or already past that milestone, or maybe you're here for a parent, a grandparent, or just because you're curious about how the brain works as we age, you're in exactly the right place. Aging is something we all experience, but here's the good news. It doesn't have to mean slowing down, not mentally at least. Today we're going to explore 5 unexpected, science-backed and honestly downright fun ways to keep your brain buzzing, active and sharp, well into your 80s, 90s and beyond. So grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee if that's your thing, get comfy in your favorite chair and let's get started on this journey together. Oh, and if you find this helpful or enjoyable, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free, and it helps me keep bringing you more content like this every week. Now, before we jump into the first surprising way to keep your mind sharp, I want to ask you something to get those wheels turning. Do you think your brain has to slow down after 80? I'll admit, I used to think that too. I pictured my golden years as a time when I'd be forgetful, a little foggy, maybe struggling to keep up with conversations or remember where I left my keys. But here's the thing. Boy, was I wrong. Research is showing us more and more that with the right habits, the right mindset, and a little bit of effort, your mind can stay just as sharp as it was in your younger days. Sometimes even sharper, because you've got all that wisdom to back it up. So, let's not waste another second. Let's dive into our list with number 1, and trust me, this first one might just get you moving. Literally. Number 1, dance like nobody's watching. Yes, you heard me right, dancing. Now I can almost hear some of you out there thinking, dancing, at 80 degrees? Are you kidding me? I can barely get out of my recliner some days, let alone bust a move. And I totally get it. It sounds wild at first. But stick with me here, because dancing isn't just about fancy footwork, twirling across a ballroom, or impressing a crowd. It's actually one of the most powerful, surprising, and enjoyable ways to keep your brain in tip-top shape as you age. Studies, and I'm talking big, reputable ones, like a landmark study from the New England Journal of Medicine, have shown that dancing regularly can reduce your risk of dementia by an incredible 76%. Let that sink in for a second. 76%. That's not just a small improvement, that's a game changer. So why is dancing so magical for your brain? Well, it's like a perfect storm of goodness. It combines physical movement, which gets your blood flowing and oxygen pumping to your brain. Coordination, which forces your mind to stay engaged. Memory, because you're recalling steps or rhythms. And often social interaction, which adds an extra layer of brain-boosting power. It's like turning your brain into a fireworks display. Everything lights up at once. Let's paint a picture here. Imagine you're in your living room, the curtains are drawn back, sunlight's streaming in, and you've got some music playing. Maybe it's a classic tune like Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon, or Elvis crooning Can't Help Falling in Love, or heck, maybe you're more of a modern soul and you're swaying to some Taylor Swift or Bruno Mars. Whatever gets your toes tapping. As you start to move, maybe just a little sway side to side at first, your brain kicks into gear. It's remembering the beat, syncing your body to the rhythm, figuring out how to shift your weight without losing balance. If you're dancing with a partner, like a spouse or a friend, or even in a group, you're also chatting, laughing, maybe teasing each other about who's got the better moves. All of that, every single part, fires up those neural pathways in your brain, keeping them strong and active. And here's the absolute best part. You don't have to be good at it. You don't need to look like a pro or even leave your house. Even a little shuffle across the kitchen floor while you're waiting for the kettle to boil counts as a win for your brain. I want to tell you about my friend Margaret to really bring this home. Margaret's 82 years young, and a couple of years ago, she decided to give dancing a try. She hadn't danced since her wedding day back in the 1960s. Can you imagine? She told me she was terrified at first, worried she'd look silly or trip over her own feet. But she signed up for a weekly dance class at her local community center anyway. It was a beginner's class, designed for seniors, nothing too intense. Just a group of folks getting together to move to some big band music. Fast forward to today, and Margaret is a different person. She's twirling around to swing tunes, giggling with her classmates like a teenager, and she swears her memory is sharper than it's been in decades. She used to forget where she parked her car at the grocery store all the time, driving her nuts. But now, she remembers every time, no problem. She credits it all to dancing, and honestly, I believe her. It's not just her body that's moving, her mind is too. So how do you get started with this? It's so simple you'll wonder why you didn't try it sooner. Step 1. Find some music you love, something that makes you want to move, even just a little. It could be from your youth, something that brings back memories, or something new you've heard on the radio. Step 2. Start small. Stand up. Use a chair for balance if you need it, and just sway side to side. Tap your feet to the beat. Maybe wiggle your arms a little, like you're conducting an orchestra. That's it, you're dancing. If you're feeling bolder, try a few steps. Left, right, back, forward. No pressure, no rules. If you're up for more, look into a local dance class. Tons of community centers, senior centers, even libraries offer them now, and they're often free or super cheap. They're designed for people just like you, folks who want to have fun, not compete on some dance show. Or if you'd rather stay home, grab a friend, a spouse, a grandkid, anyone who's game, and make it a little dance party. Put on a playlist, dim the lights, and let loose. Your brain will thank you, your mood will lift, and who knows? You might just uncover a hidden talent you never knew you had. Alright, I want to hear from you right now. Have you ever tried dancing to keep your mind sharp? Or are you thinking about giving it a whirl after hearing this? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single one. And hey, if you're still here with me, comment number 1 just to say hi. I'd love to see how many of you are vibing with this first tip. Oh, and if you're enjoying this so far, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to keep up with more tips like these. Let's move on to number 2. Play like a kid again. This one's a real curveball, isn't it? When we think of playtime, we picture kids running around, laughing, maybe arguing over who gets the best toy. But it turns out, playing, especially games that challenge your brain, is one of the most surprising and effective ways to keep your mind razor sharp after 80. And no, I'm not talking about sitting there for hours playing solitaire, though if that's your jam, more power to you. I mean games that really get your brain working, make you think, make you laugh, and maybe even make you sweat a little bit from the excitement. There's some solid science behind this one too. Research from the University of Edinburgh tracked a group of older adults over several years and found that those who regularly played games like chess, Sudoku, crosswords, or even video games showed significantly better cognitive function than those who didn't. We're talking better memory, quicker thinking, sharper focus, all the good stuff. Why does this happen? Because playtime isn't just fun, it's a full-on workout for your brain. It engages your problem-solving skills when you're figuring out your next move. It boosts your memory when you're recalling rules or patterns, and it keeps your brain flexible, ready to adapt to new challenges. It's like taking your mind to the gym, but instead of lifting weights, you're lifting laughter and strategy. Let's break this down with a few examples. Take chess. Oh, I love chess. It's you versus your opponent, staring across the board, plotting your next move while trying to guess theirs. Every turn is a mental chess match, pun totally intended. Your brain's calculating, remembering past games, anticipating what's coming next. Or think about Sudoku, those little number puzzles that look so innocent but can tie your mind in knots. You're focusing hard, reasoning through where each number goes, and when you finally crack it, that rush of victory, that's your brain celebrating its own strength. And don't sleep on video games. Yes, video games. They're not just for kids anymore. There are games designed specifically for seniors now, like Wii Sports where you can bowl or play tennis right from your living room, or brain-training apps with mini-games to test your memory and speed. My Uncle Joe, who's 85, is a Sudoku fiend. He's got a little notebook full of puzzles, and every morning he sits down with his coffee and tackles one. He says it's like a shot of espresso for his brain, keeps him alert and ready for the day. I'll tell you another story, my cousin's neighbor Ed, who's 88. Ed was never a gamer, not even board games, until his grandkids got him a Nintendo Wii for his birthday a few years back. At first, he thought it was ridiculous. "What am I, 12?" he'd grumble. But they set up Wii bowling for him, and oh my goodness, he was hooked. Now he plays every afternoon, swinging that controller like he's at the alley, and he's got a whole crew of friends who come over to join him. He says it's not just the game that keeps him sharp. It's the trash talk, the laughter, the little competitions. His memory's better, his reflexes are quicker, and he's having the time of his life. Who knew a video game could do all that? So how do you bring play into your life? It's easier than you think. Step 1. Pick a game you enjoy. It could be something classic like cards, bridge, poker, even Go Fish if you're feeling nostalgic. Or a board game like Scrabble or checkers. Puzzles work too, jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, whatever lights you up. If you're into tech, try a video game or a brain training app. Tons of them are free and made for older adults. Step 2. Start small. Give it 10 minutes a day, maybe while you're waiting for dinner to cook. Step 3. Make it social if you can. Invite a friend, a neighbor, a family member to play with you. It's more fun that way, and a little friendly competition keeps you on your toes. If you're solo, that's fine too. Challenge yourself to beat your own score. The key here is consistency. Make it a habit, like brushing your teeth or watering the plants, and over time you'll notice your mind staying sharp, alert, and ready for anything. Okay, it's engagement break time. If you're still with me, and I hope you are, comment number 2 below just to let me know you're here. And while you're at it, tell me, what's your favorite game to play? I'm a Sudoku fan myself. I get such a kick out of filling in those last few numbers, but I'd love to hear your picks. Oh, and if you're loving these tips so far, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep this channel going, and I'd be so grateful. Number 3. Eat your way to a sharper mind. Now, at first glance, this might not sound all that surprising. Everyone knows diet matters, right? But stick with me, because the specific foods we're talking about and how they work their magic on your brain might just shock you. It's not just about eating healthy to keep your body going. It's about eating smart to keep your mind firing on all cylinders. After 80, your brain needs the right fuel to keep those neurons buzzing, and some surprising, delicious choices can make a massive difference in how sharp you stay. Let's kick this off with berries. Oh, I could talk about berries all day. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're tiny little powerhouses, and they're absolute superfoods for your brain. A study from Harvard, yep, the big leagues, followed older adults for years and found that those who ate berries regularly delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. 2.5 years. That's like turning back the clock on your brain. Why are berries so special? They're packed with antioxidants, little warriors that fight off inflammation and protect your brain cells from damage. Every time you pop a blueberry in your mouth, it's like sending a cleanup crew to keep your mind clear and strong. Then there's dark chocolate. And yes, I said chocolate. This isn't a typo or a trick. Dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, is loaded with flavonoids, which are compounds that improve blood flow to your brain. Better blood flow means more oxygen, more nutrients, and a happier brain. Studies have linked it to better memory, sharper focus, even a little mood boost. Who doesn't love that? Just don't go overboard. A square or 2 a day is plenty. My friend Linda, who's 84, keeps a stash of dark chocolate in her kitchen. She calls it her brain candy, and she swears it helps her remember her grocery list without writing it down. Next up, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, or trout. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are like the building blocks your brain needs to stay strong. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher omega-3 intake had better memory and less brain shrinkage over time, shrinkage being that natural loss of brain volume we all face as we age. Omega-3s help keep your brain cells flexible and communicating, so you're not fumbling for words or forgetting names. I'll tell you about my dad. He's 87, and he started eating salmon once a week a few years ago. He grills it with a little lemon and herbs, simple but delicious, and he says he feels more with it than he has in years. He even beat me at trivia last month, and I'm no slouch. And here's a wild one you might not expect: turmeric. You know that bright yellow spice you see in curry or mustard? It's got a compound called curcumin that's a total rock star for your brain. Curcumin can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. Fancy science talk for it gets right into your head. And once it's there, it reduces inflammation and clears out some of the gunk that can slow your thinking. My neighbor Rita, who's 83, started adding turmeric to her cooking after she heard about this. She sprinkles it into her vegetable soups, mixes it with rice, even stirs it into her tea with a little honey. She told me the other day that her mind feels clearer, like someone turned up the brightness on her thoughts. Plus, her kitchen smells amazing now. So how do you put this into action? It's all about small, doable changes. Start with berries. Grab a handful and toss them into your morning oatmeal, yogurt, or just eat them straight as a snack. They're sweet, they're easy, and your brain will lap them up. For fish, swap out one meal a week. Maybe instead of chicken, try grilled salmon or a can of sardines on toast. It's not hard, and it tastes great. Sneak some dark chocolate into your day, keep a bar in the pantry and break off a square after lunch or dinner as your little brain treat. And turmeric, sprinkle a pinch into whatever you're cooking, soups, stews, rice, scrambled eggs, you name it. If you're not a cook, mix it into a warm drink like tea or milk with a dash of pepper. It helps the curcumin work even better. These are tiny tweaks, but over time, they add up to big results. Your brain will stay sharp, your body will feel good, and your taste buds, they'll be dancing with joy. Number 4, talk, laugh, and connect. This one's all about the power of people in your life, and it might just be the most surprising brain booster on our list. Socializing doesn't sound like a mental exercise at first. Maybe it feels more like a luxury or just something nice to do. But it's actually one of the most effective ways to keep your mind sharp after 80. Loneliness can dull your thinking, but staying connected, that keeps your brain humming like a well-tuned engine. A study from the Journal of Gerontology tracked older adults over years and found that those with strong social ties, friends, family, community, had slower cognitive decline, sometimes by years compared to those who were more isolated. Years. That's time you get to keep being you, fully engaged and present. Why does this work so well? Let's break it down. When you're talking with someone, say catching up with a friend over coffee, or chatting with your neighbor about the weather, your brain's doing a ton of heavy lifting. It's processing language, picking the right words, listening and responding in real time. If you're sharing a memory, like that time you went fishing as a kid or the best vacation you ever took, you're pulling details from your past, strengthening those memory circuits. And when you laugh, laughter is pure gold. It lowers stress hormones like cortisol that can cloud your thinking, and it releases feel-good chemicals like endorphins that keep your brain happy and healthy. Even a silly debate, like arguing over whether Elvis or the Beatles were the best, gets your mind reasoning, defending your point, staying quick on its feet. I met this incredible guy named Tom a while back. He's 87, and I ran into him at a coffee shop where he was holding court with a group of buddies. I asked him what his secret was to staying so sharp. He's quick-witted, remembers every detail of a story, and has this infectious laugh. He leaned in and said, "Poker nights." Every week he hosts a poker game with his friends. They play cards, sure, but it's so much more than that. They talk about everything: old war stories, their grandkids, what's on the news. They laugh until their sides hurt, tease each other about bad bluffs, and argue over who's cheating. Jokingly, of course. Tom says those nights keep his mind as fast as it was when he was 50. And the science backs him up. Social connection isn't just fun. It's fuel for your brain. Here's another example: my friend Susan, who's 86. She lives alone since her husband passed, and a few years ago she started feeling a little fuzzy, forgetting things more often. She didn't want to just sit there and let it happen, so she joined a book club at her local library. At first, she was shy, didn't know anyone, wasn't sure she'd keep up with the reading. But now, she's the star of the group. She reads every book, shows up ready to debate the ending, and stays late to chat with her new friends. She told me it's not just the books that sharpened her mind, it's the people, the conversations, the laughter, the feeling of being part of something. She's back to her old self and then some. So how do you make this happen in your life? It's all about finding ways to connect that feel good to you. Start small, call a friend you haven't talked to in a while, even just for 10 minutes. Ask them how they're doing, share a quick story, laugh about something silly. If you're near people, join a group. Book clubs are great, but so are gardening clubs, knitting circles, even a walking group if you're mobile. Host something yourself, invite a few folks over for tea, cards, or just to sit and talk. If getting out is tough, video calls are a lifesaver. Grandkids love showing off their latest tricks on Zoom, and it's just as good for your brain. Even chatting with neighbors counts. Lean over the fence, say hi when you grab the mail. The goal is to stay in the mix, keep those conversations flowing. It's not just good for your heart, it's pure gold for your mind, keeping you sharp and engaged. Alright, let's check in with you. If you're still here, and I really hope you are, comment number 4 below so I know you're with me. And tell me, who's someone you'd love to connect with more? Maybe a friend, a family member, an old pal from way back. I'd love to hear about it. And if you're finding these tips helpful, hit that subscribe button. It keeps me motivated to bring you more, and I'd be so thankful. Finally, we're at number 5. Learn something totally new. This one's my absolute favorite because it's so unexpected and so empowering. After 80, a lot of folks think, I've learned enough in my life, school's over, I've got my skills, I'm done. But here's the surprise, picking up a brand new skill, like painting, speaking a new language, playing an instrument, even something quirky like juggling, can supercharge your brain in ways you never imagined. It's all about neuroplasticity, which is a fancy word for your brain's ability to grow, adapt, and build new connections, even later in life. A study from the University of Texas put this to the test. They had older adults learn new skills, and those who did showed better memory, sharper reasoning, and more mental agility than those who stuck to their usual routines. Learning isn't just for the young, it's for the young at heart too. Picture this. You're 85 and you decide to learn Spanish. Suddenly, you're chatting with your grandkid's exchange student from Mexico, ordering tacos in perfect Espanol, feeling like a rock star. Or maybe you pick up a ukulele, small, easy to hold, and you're strumming somewhere over the rainbow at the next family barbecue, everyone clapping along. It's not about becoming a master overnight, it's about the challenge, the process, the way your brain lights up as it figures things out. My Aunt Clara, who's 81, decided to try watercolor painting last year. She'd never held a paintbrush outside of helping her kids with school projects decades ago. At first, she was all over the place, paint everywhere, colors mixing into a muddy mess. But she stuck with it, watching tutorials online, practicing a little each day. Now, she's no Picasso, but she's got these beautiful little landscapes hanging in her house, and she says the focus it takes, mixing colors, planning brushstrokes, keeps her mind buzzing. Plus, she's got bragging rights at every family gathering. Here's another one, my friend George, 89. George always wanted to play the harmonica ever since he saw a street musician as a kid. Last year, he finally bought one, cheap little thing from a music shop, and started teaching himself. He'd sit on his porch, huffing and puffing, sounding like a train wreck at first. But he kept at it, 15 minutes a day, following along with YouTube videos. Now he can play Oh Susanna and Amazing Grace like nobody's business. And he says it's not just fun, it's sharpened his focus. He used to lose track of time or forget what he was saying mid-sentence, but now he's on top of it all, learning that harmonica rewired his brain, and he's loving every second. So how do you get started? Step 1. Pick something you've always wanted to try, something that excites you, even if it scares you a little. Could be painting, a language like French or Italian, an instrument like the guitar or piano, even something offbeat like knitting or origami. Step 2. Start small. 15 minutes a day is plenty to kick things off. Step 3. Find a way to learn that works for you. YouTube's full of free tutorials. Search beginner ukulele or Spanish for seniors, and you'll have a teacher in seconds. Local classes are great too. Community centers often have affordable options, and you get the bonus of meeting people. Or ask a friend or family member to teach you. Maybe your niece knows guitar, or your buddy's a whiz at chess. Don't worry about being perfect. Mess up, laugh at yourself, enjoy the ride. Every mistake is your brain growing stronger, building new pathways, keeping you sharp as a tack. There you have it, folks. 5 surprising ways to keep your mind sharp. After 80, dance like nobody's watching, play like a kid again, eat your way to a sharper mind, talk and laugh and connect, and learn something totally new. These aren't just random tips pulled out of a hat. They're a recipe for a vibrant, engaged, unstoppable mind, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. I hope you're feeling inspired to try at least one of these. Maybe you'll start swaying to some music tonight, or dig out that old chessboard, or call a friend you've been meaning to catch up with. Whatever it is, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me which one you're starting with. I can't wait to read your stories. If you loved this video, and I hope you did, please hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to stay in the loop for more content like this, and it means the world to me. And if you've made it all the way to the end with me, you're amazing. Comment number 5 below to let me know you're a rock star who stuck it out. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Keep your mind sharp, keep smiling, keep being your incredible self, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.